Hello everyone, this is Daniel and welcome back to uGenesys, and in this video I want to introduce you to our amazing supply and demand indicator. And traders who use supply and demand strategies are aware that certain zones in the market are more responsive and contain more liquidity than others. These zones are known as supply and demand areas, and they typically have a high volume of both supply and demand. They are also the preferred trading zones for the banks, hedge funds, and other major corporations where most of the money is concentrated. And so guys, right over here is where you'd find your zones. And I know you see this section right here, but this is a bonus section that we'll talk about later. So for now, we're just going to minimize right here, okay? So typically, traders who use a supply and demand strategy tend to trade away from the zone or in the form of a reversal. So here's an example to illustrate this. Let's say we're looking at the GBP CAD right here now, and you notice that it's in an uptrend. So in this scenario, you would want to buy at the lowest possible price. So therefore, you would wait until the market reaches a particular supply-demand zone and purchase from there. Like this zone right here, you'd wait until it comes down and then you can go back up. And likewise, if you were in a downtrend, you would want to sell from a position where you can obtain the best price possible. So in this case, you would sell from an upper area and come down. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say traders use these zones as reversal points, so they trade away from the zones. So our indicator is highly versatile and suitable for all types of traders. So whether you're an intraday or swing trader, it works exceptionally well. So our indicator has three zones: the major zone, the minor zone, and the standard zone. So for intraday traders, I'd suggest using the minor zone, and for swing traders, the major zone would be suitable for you, okay? So right now we're seeing all three zones interlapping with each other, but I want to show you each zone individually, okay? So let's go ahead and right click here and select our indicator list and hit on our uGenesys supply and demand and hit properties. And let's take a look here. You can see the different settings. So first off, with our minor zone settings, we want to ensure the section that says show minor zone is the value is true, okay? And then for the others, we'll see standard zone, show standard zone. We want to change this to false. And also the major zone settings, show major zone. We want to change this to false as well and hit OK. And so here it pulls up only the minor zone in this case. And let me just change the background color of the chart here just to make it more visible. Yeah, so we have more contrast here. So this is our minor zone. So now let me show you the major zone. So for this one, we'll set the show minor zone to false. The show standard zone, we'll keep that at false. And we'll change the show major zone to true and hit OK. And so there we can see our major zone here. And finally, our standard zone. So we'll keep the show minor zone as false. We'll change the show standard zone to true, and also change the show major zone to false and hit OK. So there we can see our standard zone now. So there you have all three zones individually, okay? But earlier when I displayed all the zones at once, you may have noticed an interesting phenomenon when the zones intersected with each other. So I'd like to draw your attention to this. So let me enable all the zones again so that we can observe this overlap. So we'll just set the value to true for all three zones. So you can see in this area here that all three zones intersect, okay? The major zone, the minor zone, and the standard zone. So what does this indicate? This indicates that the overlapping zones in this area form a nested zone. And a nested zone in the context of supply and demand is a zone that has three or more different overlapping zones in one area. And this implies that this zone will be highly reactive and there may be significant reversals from this zone. So therefore, if you're a trader who is interested in the GBP CAD that we're using here and you identify a selling opportunity, for example, it is likely to be a very strong sell and the price is expected to drop significantly. And this will result in a considerable profit for you as a trader since this is a powerful zone, okay? And so these are the primary features of our supply and demand indicator, and everything is customizable to suit your preferences, okay? So you could change the background of the chart here if you want to go back to the green on black. So you can see here we have the option where you can change the colors for each zone, okay? You can also change the opacity to fit your needs, okay? And so that's basically a breakdown of our supply and demand section. So trading supply and demand can be very effective, but with 28 different currency pairs to choose from, it can be very overwhelming for beginner traders who don't know where to start. So this confusion can lead to losses when trading a consolidating currency pair. So to address this issue, our team developed a proprietary currency strength meter, and that is this section that we had minimized. Let me go ahead and maximize it here so you can see our currency strength meter here, guys. And this utilizes machine learning and neural network programming to scan the entire Forex market and identify the best currency pairs to trade. And the meter actively scans the market and recommends the most volatile currency pairs. And so it ranks them on their strength from the strongest up here at number 1 to the weakest down here at number 8. Okay, so we see we have NZD at number 1, and all the other numbers going down to GBP at number 8. And then it also recommends the pairs for you. So you see the number 1 recommended pair right now would be GBP NZD. Okay, and so the currency strength meter can provide an advantage in the Forex market, increasing the likelihood of profitable trades. So this tool offers all the necessary features to help you achieve your financial goals. And one thing to really keep in mind, guys, is when it comes to customizing the currency strength meter, it's important to note that brokers may use different prefixes and suffixes for their currency pairs. So what you'd want to do is to take a look at the market watch of your broker, okay? So here's an example of the market watch of a broker. This broker is Trader's Way, and you can see that for their currency pairs, they have the letter I as their suffix, okay? So what you do is you'd go to the indicator list and select the uGenesys supply and demand and hit properties, and this section here where it says pair suffix, you would just input the letter I right there, okay? But if you check your market watch and your broker doesn't have any prefix or suffix, then you can just leave this section blank, okay? And also, to get the best results with this indicator, I'd recommend using the daily, the weekly, or the monthly time frames, okay? And you could also set up alerts for the currency strength meter, so you will receive an alert when a currency pair becomes the top pick. So whenever the top pick changes, you'll get notified, okay? And so guys, that is it for our supply and demand indicator and also the bonus currency strength indicator here, okay? So thanks again for watching our channel. Please remember to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and comment down below and let us know what you think. And goodbye for now.